I'll just add one thing here, if you permit me. Swiss Parliament, I understand, was in the process of passing an act called RIAA, Return of Illicit Assets Act. I don't know what exactly happened to that. I have to go through the latest of the whether the bill was passed, act was made, and if the act was made, probably in that act some concessions were given to whistleblowers.
Okay. Okay, I want to also just play out what Julius Baer is saying in its defense, because this is a highly reputed Swiss bank. It's got branches all across the world. In its defense, it is really hitting out at Rudolf Elmer, saying that Rudolf Elmer has breached all sorts of secrecy norms which apply to all Swiss bankers. They're not necessarily denying the contents of what's been said, but let me take you through their statement. On the 19th of January 2011, a trial will take place in the District Court of Zurich against Rudolf Elmer on account of coercion. There are other charges as well. At the time of his dismissal in December 2002, Elmer worked as the chief operating officer of Julius Baer Bank and Trust Company in the Cayman Islands. Evidently disgruntled and frustrated about unfulfilled career aspirations, Mr. Elmer exhibited behavior unacceptable for the bank, which led to his termination of employment relationship. After his demands could not be satisfied, Mr. Elmer embarked in 2004 on a personal intimidation campaign and vendetta against Julius Baer. Once again, Sandeep, as is the case very often with whistleblowers, let me take you through the final part. Mr. Elmer spread baseless accusations and passed on unlawfully acquired, respectively retained documents to the media and later also to WikiLeaks. He might have an axe to grind, but what he's saying, the sum and substance of the allegations he's making, need to be investigated.
Very clearly, because the truth obviously lies somewhere in between. If the Swiss bank industry and Julius Baer are saying that he is a rogue and renegade ex-banker, you also have to view the same from where he's sitting, which is that here is a guy who's obviously disgruntled, obviously upset with people in Julius Baer, and that's why he's blown the whistle on them.
But it has to be like that, otherwise it will never come out.
True,
if I'm very happy with my bank, the truth will never come out. The whistleblower is most likely going to have some sort of a vested agenda.
What is even more curious is that Julian Assange, when he was arrested, had said very clearly, he had threatened the Western world that I will hit back at you. Imagine that Julian Assange ties up with Rudolf Elmer, and together the two of them are ready to blow the lid on God alone knows what whenever this disclosure is made.
And the other thing which I must highlight over here is that what we focused on really from that maze of 2,000 names are the names that sound as if they could belong to Indians. There are several other names over there. All of those need to be looked at exhaustively, not just by the Indian investigating agencies, but also by agencies all across the world that deal with money laundering, because these agencies obviously need to look at these corporations that are based all over the world that are laundering this money. It's running into several billions of dollars.